I would say there is a lot of people talking about things like AI, generative AI specifically, but I would say there is a happy change in that approach of thinking about how do we bring these tools into our companies in meaningful ways and operationalize AI and start to take advantage of the innovation that we're seeing in a different way rather than just the buzz and like saying the words to say the words. There's been a lot of conversation of how do we break down these topics and actually make them meaningful for the industry to start bringing forward the change that we've all been hoping for.
This is Ema Roloff from Roloff Consulting and Leading Change, and this is the future of insurance.
Ema Roloff, one of my favorite people, insurance influencer. And the funny thing is, we were just saying that. I said that. You weren't saying it. And then some guy walked up to us at ITC and was like, "You're Ema Roloff. Can I meet you?" So I think technically you are, but you're more than that. Tell people what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of Roloff Consulting. My husband and I run Roloff Consulting. Ooh, say that multiple times fast.
Runoff Consulting.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. But we focus on helping companies really modernize their sales approach and sell the way buyers want to actually buy through education and digital channels to really help make those connections to solve problems.
Buy the way people want to buy or sell the way people want to buy from you.
Yes.
Sounds really obvious, but it's totally novel and people don't do it. So super necessary. That was not a put down of what you do. Is like, yeah, that makes total sense. Yet that's not what a lot of people do.
It does. It seems intuitive, but it is the buying behavior has changed so much that it's been difficult for people to keep up with it. And it's really not huge changes that need to happen, but you need to be thoughtful about updating.
Yeah. We're here at ITC, which I don't know how much people are going to hear it in the background, but like booths are being broken down right now. So it's winding down. But I would love to just hear some thoughts from you as you've been out on the floor meeting with people. Is there a theme? Is there a specific set of things that have come up or things you're seeing that you think sort of feel like what ITC is this year?
So I would say there is the natural trend that everybody would think of. A lot of people talking about things like AI, generative AI specifically. But I would say there is, and to my heart, a happy change in that approach of thinking about how do we bring these tools into our companies in meaningful ways and operationalize AI and truly start to take advantage of the innovation that we're seeing in a different way rather than just the buzz and like saying the words to say the words. There's been a lot of conversation of how do we break down these topics and actually make them meaningful for the industry to start bringing forward the change that we've all been hoping.
Are there things that you would see and say that's a meaningful use of AI versus like they just added AI instead of .com? Like, you know, you used to make .com part of your name, so you sounded e-commerce-y, and now it's AI, or maybe IO was a thing for a little while.
Yeah.
What's a meaningful use of AI in your eyes?
So I can think of like one example. I was watching the demo stage yesterday, and InsurTech was doing a demo, and they were showing their interaction.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, were you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were showing their generative AI functionality. They've integrated with Google's AI, and they've integrated it with Iris's data so that they've got in-context use of generative AI for agents. And being able to see it come in and again be used in a very meaningful way to drive operational change and seeing it firsthand on a demo stage when sometimes it's slides or smoke and mirror. It was really great to see it like play out live.
We saw it generate. So like the use case that I saw yesterday was it's the end of the year. I want to give gifts to my top clients. And that was basically all the question was. And then it's like, great idea. Here are your top clients with premium and like revenue, whatever your revenue base is. And it's like, oh, that's contextual, more information than just like, here's 3 names. So you can see like, okay, well, what's the scale? Or maybe those are commercial clients and I meant personal and I didn't frame this right or whatever, whatever it is, it was a really meaningful, useful response. And it was generated on the fly.
And
it wasn't slides.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that, again, that Iris did and talked about in their demo is the way that their data is mapped is so that those types of insights can actually be pulled And what we are starting to see, and again, kind of going back to that trend of like, how are we actually going to make AI meaningful? We're starting to see an understanding of the role that data truly plays in making AI powerful, and starting to see changes of new platforms that are coming out that have that thought process.
So that I did an interview with a partner from McKinsey yesterday, and in our Gen AI talk, because of course it came up, he's also responsible for that for them, so it was natural. But that was his big concern, is like having good, clean, well-mapped data in the cloud is a prereq to doing this. And he was like, the large language models, teaching them, getting them to learn, that's actually not the hard part. It's the data side, and especially for this industry. So I'm glad you brought that up too. It's like, all right, 2 conversations in a row. This is actually a real thing. So either we start with the tool from the start, or we need to think very seriously about, if we really want to embrace what these new tools can do for us, we have to do something about the data we've had and where it sits. Anything other than Gen AI, or is that really like, is it because it's like such a buzzword in everything? Is it eating all other topics, or were there other things that popped for you at all?
Well, selfishly, I was also on a panel today with Rise professionals talking about reverse mentorship. And I think that there's been a number of conversations, and maybe it's because people saw that was the panel that I was speaking on and knew that was something that I'm passionate about. But there is a lot of conversation still about like what the industry as a whole can do to attract new talent, bring people in from other industries. How do we really keep people here? So that was another conversation that I heard that's actually separate from technology, but is very interconnected, because a lot of how you bring people in, a lot of how you get people to stay is by updating old processes rather than making someone stare at a green screen or an old DOS application. And so those types of kind of like, again, industry level conversations and how they're influenced by technology also have come out in the conversation.
Well, and if you're gonna do reverse mentorship, one of the topics could very well be, here's the stuff going on technologically that I don't understand. Do you, and can you help me? And literally, we had a reverse mentorship moment, or just a friend-to-friend moment. But last week, I'm like, I need help with pulling something out of my videos. I know you know this stuff. I absolutely don't. And you were very kind in giving of your time. But that was a like, older person needs help with tech, and not just like how to get my VCR to record. But I think that's another reason why these things are all intertwined.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, through the different mentorship programs that I'm involved with, I do a Women in Tech one, and then also through Rise Professionals, they have a one. And it's really interesting being in Rise's group because they have cross-functional roles. So, like, I was mentoring an underwriter last year.
Oh, wow.
I've never been an underwriter. So I learned things about the business that maybe I wouldn't have had an insight into had I not realized what struggles she was running into in her career, or what kinds of questions that she was thinking of navigating. And being able to have that interaction and that relationship with her taught me a ton. And it wasn't in a formal way of reverse mentoring. It was literally just the symbiotic relationship that comes out of those types of interactions.
If people are watching the video version and they're watching my eyes going crazy, I don't know if the music's getting louder or they're rolling.
The party's pumping up.
Something's happening. So I'm getting stuck on the word reverse in the mentorship, because historically mentorship has been like one direction and not the band or the group. It's been experienced person to newer person. And reverse mentorship is like, well, let's do in the other. I think they're both dead wrong. Why can't it just be like, can we learn and grow from each other? And if you go in being like, I'm here to learn from you, or I'm here to give to you, then it's like the reverse direction is almost shut off. And what you just described is, that was a two-way street. And it's like, it's a relationship. We're like, we should just get back to that, but have it be like mixed backgrounds, interests, positions in the industry, experience, whatever, but we can all grow from each other.
And the last trend I'm going to bring up is the hashtag hard market, and the hard market rapper making his way all around this ITC floor. That's been another fan favorite.
I shared an Uber with him years ago when he just had his first hit. So it's pretty
Back
cool.
before.
Yeah. I think I may have paid for the Uber, or Nick Lamparelli did. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, Curtis said I got to see him and get a picture with him, and I got to wear the square glasses.
I got the chains too.
No, I didn't get the chains. He wasn't going to get that up. That is another thing. I will say, I'm not a fan of the idea of hard market. That's not a knock on him. I think the fixation on hard and soft market is a dead concept. Because I grew up in the industry at a time where it was like, we just need to wait out the soft market, and then it'll be hard and everything will be great and we'll make money, and we're just going to like pause and not grow or pull back when it's not good. Strategy is not just waiting for something else to make you successful or not. You have to do something to get there.
Yeah.
And I don't think what we're seeing right now is a hard market. Yes, like rates are up, but losses are up dramatically.
Yeah.
And typically a hard market is like the rates were too low. We had losses that didn't align with that. And so now the rates are up, but the losses aren't. This is like the rates are up, but they're not up enough. So technically to me, it's still a soft market. Yeah, like rates are better, but it's still not enough to make you profitable. So how can you call that a hard market?
Yeah.
In some lines, yes, it's profitable. But the hard market, soft market thing to me is like, I think we need to stop talking about that. And it should just be, how do we succeed regardless of what's going on with pricing? Because losses could be moving out of sync with that. And so we're still dead in the water either way.
Yeah.
And you can make a lot of money in a soft market if you know how to underwrite.
Yeah.
So I'm not knocking your idea. That's my take on it. But
Everybody's jealous that he doesn't have the rap skill.
that's literally all that it is. So I'm trying to find ways to hit it. Emma, thank you for spending some time kind of wrapping up ITC.
Yeah.
And of course, now that we're winding down, it's quiet in here. They shut off the music and no one seems to be breaking stuff down.
That's all right. This is live television for everybody.
That's what happens. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you.